on YouTube. A little late, but we're still here. 3 minutes in. 3 minutes in. We're all getting that JTV notification now. Even I see that. So we have Russ Walker in the building, folks.
Hello, everybody.
This individual right here, one of a kind individual who, out of all the guests that I've had thus far, this is definitely one that I definitely want to get in touch with. So, gathering, we got all kinds of sounds in the background here. Oh yeah, you gotta love the city. Special appearances from the cat earlier. Now we got a special appearances from the ambulance or the local police department. You know, so.
Man, I'm feeling love. You got the whole city coming out. That special treatment.
You need to chill out, Russ, because I just came in here to talk to you, and this is the first time ever professionally that we've ever talked, and you're already killing me. Russ Walker's on fire already, and we're just 1 minute 20 seconds into this interview. So I had a chance to say a few words to you a little while ago. No joke. We didn't plan anything before this started. We just went right for it. This is legitimately me talking to this cat for the first time ever. So, good to meet you, Russ Walker. I am Kevin Impact. I'm sure you heard of me somewhere. And yes, indeed. What do we got? We got some comments coming in already. A couple of people already watching. So we're gonna dig into it. And if you're late, catch up later with that replay. So we got Russ Walker in the building, and this is a very interesting character right here, folks. And makes me wonder, where do I want to go with this, because we are live and uncensored. Anything can happen, and nothing's held back. We say whatever we want, how we want to say it, But this man is our special guest. So you've listened to the show before, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so obviously you know how we get down. We talk a lot of shit in here. Yeah, so
I'm with it.
so basically, let's see. I got so many questions going through my head. I don't know which one I want to start with. It's so many things we can focus on just to kick this off. I had one of my associates who was influential in coming up with the show. Well, not coming up with the show, but helping me sort of fall into the idea of coming up with the show. And he recently pointed out that this is live and uncensored. This is not your life. Because sometimes I bring special guests on here who go ahead and I start asking about their life. You know what I mean? But I think it's cool. This is live and uncensored, and I like to ask what I want. Whatever interests me. So first and foremost, doing this professionally, it wouldn't be right if we didn't kick this thing off by wishing Russ Walker a personal and live happy birthday. So happy birthday to you, Russ Walker.
I am 3 decades plus 2 years old, and I'm feeling it.
Man, I mean, you're beating me, man. We're there. You know what I'm saying? You got me by 2. We're getting up there, and that age factor starts to kick in, and man, a whole new world opens up to you once you get to this age.
Whole new world, new set of meds.
Whole new body, yeah. You got it. You got it, man. You start to slow down. But isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? Because when we were coming up, it was sort of like 30s. Damn, I mean that's your prime. You know what I mean? That's the best time of your life. Bullshit. Your body starts changing up. Things get a little different once you hit that 30 mark. It's a whole nother whole nother chapter of your life, you know. And that's the reason people say that life is short, because reasons like that, you know. So it's important to take care of yourself as much as you can.
Absolutely.
But yeah, congratulations to you. I sincerely hope that it's been good for you thus far and everything works out.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you so much.
Definitely. So, So how did you fall? We take a look at Russ Walker. You know, creatively, obviously, me and you were able to come up with a winner when it came to Russ Walker, and then it became a thing, and you know, it got over, and then you know, everybody became real familiar and real. You know, Russ Walker kind of became more known after. You know, his whole ordeal, his whole build up and everything he did with Shaylin and all that stuff. You know, but we go behind the scenes and we get to know the individual just a little bit more. How did you fall? How did you come into this crazy world of wrestling? How did this happen?
It was basically etched into my DNA. Both of my parents were massive WWF fans way back when. And I was basically born into it. When I was born, they were watching wrestling. And funny story. So my mom was actually on the way to the grocery store when my dad called her. And let her know that WrestleMania would be on. And this was when I was 2 years old. So she ended up rushing all around the grocery store, getting all of the groceries together so she could make it back in time to watch WrestleMania. And at one point, I believe I had dropped. I think it was yogurt. I believe I had dropped yogurt. I don't remember the details. I was only 2 years old.
Right.
I believe it was yogurt. So there's this whole ordeal about dropping yogurt, and then the grocery store manager came out and had up. Mom was feeling all regretful, and after that, she walked out of the store, and she said that I was crying my ass off. Reason being, I had left the Care Bear that my mother had bought me the day that I was born inside the grocery store. She was halfway home.
Oh man!
And she knew that I would love that Care Bear. So she basically had to make a life or death decision. Do I let this kid scream his lungs out until they burst, so I can catch WrestleMania, or do I go back to the grocery store and get his fucking bear so he can shut the hell up? So needless to say, I still have my 32-year-old Care Bear. And she missed Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan, and she missed me on that.
Man, she had to contemplate that situation. Like, do I go back and get his bear, or do I watch the wrestling? That is devotion right there. She was hooked, man.
That is the moment that I knew my mom loved me. When she gave up Andre the Giant to go back and get a bear, I knew it was love.
Yikes! And you said Andre the Giant, so this is way back. This is up there. Man, it's crazy. I kind of had similar stuff going on in my family. My mom used to watch, she used to be my grandfather, and they used to be, I think, in the living room together, and they used to watch it, and they used to cheer on, they used to be like, yeah, beat that guy up, you know, you watch it together, and it kind of got passed down. I think it went through my brother, and my brother was probably the one that passed it down to me, but yeah, I got those Hulk Hogan stories, and, you know, all those, me and you come from the same era, so we're going to know the same wrestlers. You know, we've been through the ECW territories, the WCW Nitros, you know, all that stuff.
Yes.
I mean, shit, that's probably a whole entire topic of conversation right there. We cover that, you know.
So, it's
yeah. Go ahead.
Is one of those things. It's kind of like church for me,
Right.
where it's engraved in your DNA, but you kind of rebel against it because your parents want you to get into it. It's like, dang, I just want to do something else. Like, I want to go outside. Then eventually actually got into video games. Like, I want to do video games instead. They're like, come downstairs, watch Nitro. Come downstairs, watch Monday Night Raw. Like,
Wow.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, you got
So
some
for a
cool
while,
parents.
it was me rebelling.
Some cool parents right there, man. They were telling you to watch the wrestling, not to turn it off and step away. That is crazy.
Oh no, they were into it. They wanted to share that with the family. Gig time.
Damn. You don't hear that too often. You don't get that too often, you know, the fanatic wrestlings. See, my thing was a little bumpy along the road too, because although my grandfather and my mom were big wrestling fans, and I'll say, you know, my brothers also big wrestling fans. My dad and my grandfather on my mom's side was a wrestling fan. My grandfather on my dad's side was not a wrestling fan, and my dad is not a wrestling fan by any means. They despise it. They hate it because they have, I don't know, I guess some kind of a homophobic withdrawal against it, along the lines of, you know, look at the way they're grabbing each other. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, if you sit there and you learn the product and you understand the spectacle and you try it, well, I mean, trying it is a completely different topic. Getting in that ring in real life, you know, taking those bumps, it's another conversation. But to watch it as a fan, product, you know, is different than just watching it and judging it like, oh, look at the way those men are grabbing each other. You know, it'd be like kind of like a body scissor or something like that on the floor, and it looks a little weird, and then they start, you know, being judgmental. So my grandfather would get really upset whenever any wrestling came on the TV. My old man would not like it, you know, and shit, man, when I was coming up, you had that little attitude era. You got Stone Cold walking around calling Triple H a son of a bitch, you know. He was pushing boundaries here because my dad did not want me to watch that stuff, you know. And I have a memory, I don't know if I told this memory on here, but I have a memory of me sitting in the living room watching Raw, and I remember it was one of the episodes where I guess I'm going to say it was Barbara Bush, BB. She was the EMT chick. This is when they had like the Cat and Jacqueline and Ivory and them. I don't, you know, maybe not a lot. Maybe you might remember her, but some of these cats listening might not remember her. But look her up, Barbara Bush, BB. She had a big set of twins, if you know what I'm saying, and she was a hot blonde. And if it wasn't her, I think it might have been Terry. I'm kind of confused now. I think it was either her or it was Terry Runnels. Terry Runnels and Triple H came out, said, you know, made a match, whatever, and said you got to remove your top after the match or something. And, you know, I was like, oh, shit, this is going to happen. And I'm a little kid, and I got my dad sitting behind me at the table reading a newspaper. And I'm rocking my chair out in front. You know, you little kid rocking that chair. You're watching something you're not supposed to. You're looking left and right like, damn, you know. So I'm over here excited, but I'm over here sweating like, holy shit. Her top is going to come off, and my dad is right behind me. He's going to chew my ass out like bubblegum. So, you know, they did the top thing. I'm pretty sure my dad never said anything, so I'm assuming he was fucking watching the shit too, quietly, secretly. So it went through, and they removed the top, and then Triple H covered her as how it ends or whatever. But man, I swear that it might have been maybe a couple seconds, and a couple seconds felt like an eternity of nervousness. You know, I was just like, fucking get it over with already, you know? But man, that's such a great and interesting story, man. You know, I want to focus on, you know, some of your mic work. I've publicly said to a lot of people, look, he's very good on the mic, and as embarrassing as it is to the WWE, yourself are better on the mic than a lot of those other guys are in WWE right now, combined. That's how much credit I'm giving you. And that's how I truly feel about it. That's how I truly feel about it, because I'm not seeing anything like that going out. You know, I saw a friend of mine sent me a video today of the New Day. It was an old video when Brandy was there, the AEW chick, Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah.
She, she was trying to interview those guys, and it was like one of those WWE post videos that they put on the site that, they don't put it on TV. And the New Day spent, I think it was probably like more than 20 minutes just ranting and clowning. And it made me realize, how funny that shit was and how entertaining and talented they are, and it's underutilized. And you don't get that a lot on TV or on the show, and it's disappointing. Russ Walker. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I completely relate with that. Because growing up with the products, growing up with WCW, WWF, seeing a lot of the characters come to life, and that whole, not knowing that it was just a show. You actually believed that these guys were this specific way. You actually either hated them or you loved them, sorry for them. I feel that nowadays everything is, well, not everything, but a lot of things are really scripted, and you don't really have a whole lot of opportunity to show your personality. You're basically reading from a sheet of paper. So when you see things like that, it's really refreshing, because not only does it take you back to the good old days when you were completely naive, everything was a show, it was just physical ballet. You feel like because everything is so scripted nowadays, for a group of people to be able to show their personality and really want to be on television and actually enjoy it, it's really refreshing.
I agree. I'm assuming you're making reference to AEW as well.
Absolutely.
Or is it yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out.
For me, it's mostly wrestling in general. A lot of times you see WWE because they're basically a monopolized entity in the wrestling industry.
Right.
But it even trickles down to the other companies like Indies, like Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling. You see a lot of characters, and you can tell when it's a scripted occurrence, or whether it's something that the actual talent came up with. Like, you can tell the difference. So when you see the latter compared to the former, you're like, oh, okay, that's what he's really like in person. Like, I want more of that. And you go to the script, it's like, disappointing.
Right. I agree. I definitely agree. I think wrestling's better when it's got controversy, skill, and the gloves are cut off. That's when business is best, and when there's competition, because that's when you get that good product, good healthy organic product. So, and while we're on this topic, I see the AEW chants there in the comments. It's it's such a good time now for wrestling, because it's all over the place, and the Khan family and AEW's got a launch show coming on TNT now, and I think that's great, because wrestling is becoming good again. This is not just going to be a new fresh product that more likely is going to give us what we want. We're going to make Vince McMahon and WWE step their game up again, which is what they need. It's been lacking for too long, and I'm gonna close with this subject. Vince McMahon is not going to be able to rest on his loins anymore. You might have been doing that for years after you bought WCW, because you certainly didn't kill it. Vince McMahon did not kill WCW, he bought it. And that's how he won. Back in the day when we was watching wrestling, Vince McMahon did not beat WCW. He got lucky that he survived it, because they was whooping his ass. So we got to keep that in mind. WCW, in essence, was almost always better than WWE. It was a better product of what he was putting out. It's just that he got lucky and beat them. I'm a WWE fan, though.
Yeah, I completely agree. I agree
Yeah, you know,
The only reason Vince McMahon won that is because he had more money.
he just takes
As far as content, character work, controversy, I feel like WCW had been several times over.
WCW was horrible at all that shit. Creative and everything, company deciding, giving people their own, the creative direction. WCW was a terrible company when it came to all of that. To the internal ability of WCW, all of that was just absolutely atrocious. It's just that WCW had better movement and a fresher product than WWE for a while because they introduced the cruiserweight division. You know, they had a unique style to things. You know, obviously the NWO was a big factor for WCW that drew ratings, and they had a lot of unpredictable TV. You know, a lot of talent, which was good at first, but you know, it led to just killing the whole thing off. You know what I mean? So,
because they couldn't hold it together. They had so many things going on backstage that we had no clue about.
Right.
Until years after everything had gone down.
Right.
And on the outside, well, from the outside, it looked like wow, like these guys are freaking awesome. They're going through X, Y, Z, and this is happening on the screen. Wow, is this real? Lo and behold, it is real, and it's basically shit. But we didn't know that as kids, when things were not as accessible.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of all went through the realization step by step. You know, it took me a while as a kid coming up to realize that both of them were competing. I always just thought of it like two different companies, I guess. Two different places. You know, you never, as a kid, you never really sit there and call it a company or anything like that. You know, it's just like WCW and WWF, and that was it. You know, and at the beginning, it was confusing for me a little bit because, you know, when I started finding wrestling on TV, you know, I'd watch WCW and look for, you know, and then I'd watch WWF and I'd look for like Goldberg or the NWO or Randy Savage, you know, and it was confusing for a little bit. So, I mean, we had choices, different stuff was going on, but it was like, that was definitely a good time. And I can sincerely hope that we move in that direction again, just like we're going to move in the direction of, you know, asking you some more stuff and getting some more insight on you. You know, I obviously brought up the topic of you being, you know, very good on the mic. And, you know, it was interesting to me that, you know, a lot of the time when I pitch something at you, you know, I'll just throw ideas at you or I'll fax you over just a promo to give you ideas, and you'll pick it up and you'll turn it into a Hollywood blockbuster hit. You'll add your charm in there, and I'm like, man, like he just knows how to put words together. He threw stuff in there that just made it sound much more sophisticated. And not only do I always appreciate that, I just always think it's pretty cool. I take some of your promos when you send them in, and I sit there and I listen to them, and I enjoy it, you know, before it even goes out, because it's like it's just so detailed, and you put so much thought into it, you know, and it's entertaining as hell, man. I got to give it to you. You know, you're like Chris Tucker when it comes to promos over here. You're that talented, in my opinion. Yeah, you know,
If I could blush, I'd probably be purple right now.
Clout, pimp. Yeah, take the clout for what it is, man. You know, I think that there's some depth besides the wrestling knowledge, besides the wrestling history. I think there's some depth to that education that you have on a mic like that. So, more or less, where does that come from? You know, are you heavily into your studies? Do you watch a lot of documentaries? You know, what's kind of like you're saying, what makes Russ Walker so smart like that to put all that into detail in that manner?
lot of things. First thing is, I'm really heavily into languages. I'm actually bilingual. I speak both English and Swedish. Another thing is, I do have a bit of a, I guess thing for theater. I do have a theater background. I was in theater for all 4 years in high school. And I attended class of arts for about 2 years. So I do have a little bit of clout when it comes to acting.
He said clout.
Seriously.
Clout, pimp.
Yeah, and I actually think I used that word wrong, but it is what it is.
We ain't here to judge.
Actually, when I was younger, I actually did have an interest in voice acting because I noticed that I was able to change my voice quite a bit. Like I could alter the pitch to make me sound more female. I could alter the pitch to make me sound like very white. So I was like, maybe this is something I should look into.
Oh, see, you have to give me a preview of that. You're gonna have to give me some Barry White.
Lord, I don't know if I can do it now.
somebody throw him a water. Get some water in here. He could do it. Yeah, get it up for your love, baby.
Unfortunately, my voice changed a little bit, so I can't get that low. But I can still get pretty high. And I also took singing classes. So my breathing, I had to practice my breathing so I know how to breathe. To where I can enunciate on my words, whole sentences, sometimes paragraph, take my breath. And a lot goes into it. Like knowing what to say, knowing the proper words, making sure everybody can understand you, and also understanding when you're acting, understanding the character that you're playing, and doing a bit of research about the character you're playing makes a difference too. So you don't want to, for instance, you're playing a face, and you're basically giving a promo without even knowing it, because you're saying, you're basically cursing at the crowd. And they're like, wait a second, is this supposed to be a face? Like, why are you cursing at me? Why are you insulting me? But see, you don't know you're insulting them because you're not using the proper words. So it's a lot of things that you have to consider. And luckily, my promos are recorded, so I can redo them because I'm a bit of a perfectionist also.
Right. No, same here.
Something doesn't sound right, I can just redo it. I'm like, that did not go together.
Right. I can't argue with that.
Redoing things and editing them and redoing them. And just making sure everything flows together properly. So when it's all done, bam, stars.
And you're all American?
Say again?
You're all American, born in America. Black man, all American.
Well, funny thing is, I was actually born in Malmö, Sweden.
Okay.
My family moved here when I was 1.5.
Okay.
So while I was born in Sweden, I am basically an American because I spent 30 years here. So I can't even claim Sweden anymore.
Right. Wow.
So born in Sweden, mainly here.
Families from Sweden too, parents?
My dad is Swedish by nationality.
Right.
My mom was in the Air Force. She ended up getting transferred over there for a mission, and she met him.
Holy shit.
And they instantly fell in love.
Your mom was in the Air Force?
Yes.
No wonder she's a badass that watches wrestling. That explains it all. Whole nother topic. I feel like Cole Phelps and L.A. Nar. I'm rapping everything now. Wow, that's cool. How long was she in the Air Force? Out of your life?
She was in the Air Force for 3 years out of my life. She ended up getting out because she did not like daycare here. So she ended up getting out to raise me and my brothers.
Wow. What a great mom. Seems like she was always thinking about you guys. Oh, so you have brothers. You have brothers too.
Yes, I actually do have four younger brothers, two sets of twins.
Cool. What an interesting family, interesting set of stories coming from Russ Walker tonight, folks. Man. So now I know what I wanted to know, you know, so we got, obviously, you got your education, obviously you've had skill, you know, you've done theater, you have a build-up, man. You have a base for everything that's going on. This explains why you're always so good on the mic, because you've had it covered for so long. You know, I didn't do no theater or nothing like that. I had the opportunity to do a little bit of acting with some commercial guys. There was a guy that I did some acting with. He was a commercial guy that came to our class sometime when I was a kid, and you know, out of everybody who was too scared to get up, you know, and do improv acting and stuff like that, you know, I said, you know, I was the quiet one in the class, but I said I'll do it, you know. And you know, we just pretended. We pretended like we were changing a tire and stuff like that. And I did that a couple times. You know, it's always nerve-wracking at first, and then it just goes away. There was another time where I was giving a speech and I was acting, and I did this. The theme was real life versus gamer. You know, just basically. I guess it was a theme for lazy people. You know, for lazy gaming people that, you know, just. Because I think you got a lot of judgmental parents that drop that hammer on their kids a lot about, you know, oh, well, video games isn't going to get you anywhere in life, you know. Well, it depends how you use it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
it depends how you use it. You know, you can't just blame it on video games. Doing nothing will get you nowhere in life. You know, I think that's what they're hinting at here. It has nothing to do with video games. Video games does nothing in your life unless you just like drugs and anything else. You know, it's an important thing to remember. So, you know, it's good to have background. You know, it's good to have background. Have you ever any interest in the wrestling thing in real life?
As far as actually doing wrestling myself, I had considered it. Because while I was younger, I actually studied two forms of martial arts. And while I was studying that, I noticed that a lot of the wrestlers that I liked did a lot of the moves that were similar to what I was doing when I was practicing. I was like, hey, I could probably do that.
Damn, you just keep open.
Probably arm drag.
You just keep on opening. You keep on busting this thing open here, man, because you got so much stuff you've done. You know, the martial arts now that's interesting, man. You know, like I've been stalling on martial arts for so long. You know, as a kid, trying to get to it. I tried the wrestling like a year or two ago. I did some training on it and found out firsthand that wrestling is 100% real. Everything hurts. You know, I was just taking bumps. That's it. I was recovering for about 2 weeks, I want to say. At least 2 weeks. Just taking bumps, elbows, knees. And it was intense training. It was definitely intense. I almost vomited, flipping around, doing stuff. And, you know, nobody... I hate when people say wrestling is fake. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're looking from... Yeah, man, they're looking at it from another standpoint. They don't get it, you know. But the martial arts thing interests me because, you know, you happen to be a Bruce Lee fan?
I am.
I don't know anybody. I don't.
By association.
Everybody.
My dad is the biggest Bruce Lee fan of the family. My whole family is basically kung fu movie oriented,
right?
And inclined. But my dad is the largest kung fu fan. He loves Bruce Lee. Loves Jackie Chan. Loves Jet Li.
Right.
Zhang is more. One of the more recent ones that he appreciates. And I actually introduced him to Tony Jaa. And he was like, dude, this takes me back. I'm like, yeah, I see that. I'm back. Need to get into it.
All these movies, I think, for our childhood coming up, you know, at our age, I think it was just so important. You know, the Predators, the Terminators, the Rockies, the you know, Cobras, the Wesley Snipes movies, the Chuck Norris movies. If I didn't say that, the Jean-Claude Van Damme's, the Bruce Lee movies. You know, the Bruce Lee movies for me coming up, it was like maybe hand in hand with the Mortal Kombat stuff in my life. It was like, oh, and Street Fighter, I'll throw that in there. There's always that wisdom, that meditation, that training, that focus, that drive to do things, you know. And you know, I just think these movies was just so important in our development, you know. And I think it's important to show these movies in today's society. But man, if you had people like that around now in film influencing, like, I just think that would be so important, you know, because we were coming up tough. You know, when you got the Commando, you got Arnold Schwarzenegger on there kicking ass and doing that kind of stuff. You got Wesley Snipes on Passenger 57 up there in the sky, whooping a guy's ass who looks like the fucking guy from what's his name? From The Simpsons, or I'll say Freaky Fred instead from Courage the Cowardly Dog. That's what he looked like in that fucking movie. Wesley Snipes whoop his ass in the sky, and then he whoop his ass at a carnival. I love it. And let's throw Eddie Murphy's name in there just for the heck of it, just because, you know, I put them hand in hand. But you did the martial arts thing. What you did some basic training? You ever fight for any belts or anything, or what?
Unfortunately, I was never able to continue a lot of training that I had because we moved around so frequently. It was mostly something to keep me occupied after school. After we moved here from Sweden, and Mom got stationed in Nebraska, she put me into Chinese wushu. And I stayed in those classes for about, I want to say maybe 1.5 years. And keep in mind, I was only two. So it was like bare minimum that I could do. Like, it was just something to, I guess, begin the whole discipline process. And when I got older, and we ended up moving to Arizona, I ended up studying capoeira for 3 years while we were there. And I'm older, and it's just building on top of, you know, discipline, meditation, choosing your battles, making better decisions.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it was more about character building and making sure that I had enough discipline in me so that when it was time to go out in the public, I didn't have any problems. Because when I was younger, I won't say I was extremely introverted, but I avoided a lot of kids. When I was put into daycare, I was constantly crying.
Right.
I remember actually never playing with any kids when I was in daycare. Or I would cower at my desk when I was in kindergarten. Teacher would always be like, go play with the kids. I'm like, no. No, don't like it. But as I started character building and practicing my capoeira, I started learning that you trust your partner, because in capoeira, it's usually a two-person thing, where you have to feel out your partner's movements so you can act with them. Capoeira is a lot about show and dance. And if you fall out of beat, everything falls off. So you have to communicate. You have to make sure that who you're communicating with understands you. And you have to make decisions between the two of you, not just yourself.
Right.
So as time went on, I ended up getting more comfortable with talking with the other kids and playing around with the other kids. So that's mainly what it did for me. And it also taught me how to kick someone's ass when I need to.
That's probably my favorite part about the whole thing. You know, man. I think a lot of the time now, the way that shit goes, it's like, you know, a lot of people deserve to get their ass kicked, bro. Because with so much stuff going on, it's like nobody cares about anything. Nobody has self-respect like that anymore. You know, it's a few of us that still have that. And it's like they don't respect women, they beat them up. They don't respect children, they molest them. You know, it's just so much stuff going on now. You know, Ashley Mazzaro recently supposedly killed herself. You know, what do you think about that?
It kind of hurts. Reason being is Ashley Mazzaro wanted to be roundabout when I started actually paying more attention to women's wrestling.
Right.
She was one of the individuals that got me into it. So I followed her. I was like, wow, this girl is pretty awesome. And I remember distinctly her putting her actual telephone number on the television. I'm like, wait a second. And then as time went on, I understood it. She was basically putting herself out there, making sure everybody knew, hey, I'm actually in this to win this. And a lot of the matches that she was in, while they weren't spotlighted like I feel like they should be,
right.
They helped. I feel like they helped build the foundation for me for women's wrestling because her along with Melina and Candice Michelle, all of her workers during that time frame. Help people understand that, hey, these girls can put on some good matches. They're not just about having their boobs out, or like wearing bikinis and being in these gimmick matches where they're always wrestling in some type of fluid.
Right.
They can actually wrestle. And Ashley Mazzaro, rest in peace, may her soul, was one of the individuals that helped me see that because when I started watching again, it was when the females were only just bathroom breaks, and they were in these panties matches or these weird love angles, and it just weren't taken seriously. I feel like her along with the other females during that time frame helped a lot of the viewers understand that, hey, we actually are wrestlers. And I feel like during the time that she was there, she was there for about 3 years.
Right.
I feel like she was quite underutilized. And I read somewhere in the documentary that she was actually in the works of coming back to wrestling and back into wrestling before she passed. And I was looking forward to that because it was a part of my childhood.
Yeah.
So I was like, Ashley Mazzaro coming back? Are you serious? And like this whole time I was asking, where has she been? What have you been doing?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she was preparing to get back into wrestling. And it just got me excited because I felt like she's finally going to get a chance. I felt like the first time she showed, while she was prominent and she was there, she didn't really get the opportunity to show what she could really do. And how much she actually improved during the time she was there. So I felt like now's her time to shine. And then I hear this news, it's just like, wow, you're gone so soon. Taken from so soon.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And she actually in 2008 when she left the company, she actually left to take care of her daughter, which she survives by now.
Right.
And it just made her an even greater person in my eyes. Because you gave up what you loved and what you treasured to make sure that her daughter had what she needed to have. And it kind of reminded me of my mom. Because my mom basically did the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Because she loved the Air Force. She loved traveling. She loved seeing new places. She loved what she did. But she knew that in order for me to be taken care of and for us to be taken care of, she had to get that up. So I kind of saw a little bit of my mom and Ashley, and it made me connect with her a little bit more.
Wow.
So when she kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, I was like, is she okay? Where's she going? And then I get news she's getting back from the ring. And it just excites me. I'm like, wow, finally. And I hear the news.
Right.
It hit me.
So that bad. It caught me off guard. You know, she was from a decent era too. She was from a decent era too. She was trying to get back in, get going, and man, it's crazy. It's crazy the way those things happen. You never know. That siren sound is traumatizing for me for personal reasons. Yeah, it's annoying. I hate it, but it's you know, this is life. You just never know. Everything can happen so quickly. Anybody can go at any time. You know, and you got Ric Flair right now. Rick is hospitalized critically. I hate to say it, but we're getting there with Rick. We're getting there. This has been happening like often. And what I mean by often, like it happened a while back, and that to me is a lot. Mm-hmm. That to me is a lot, and we're getting up there pretty soon. Rick, you know, we gotta cherish these little moments we have with Rick. You know, before my mom went away 2 years ago, I knew long ago, and I made the correct decision to make peace with her and to cherish the moments that I had with her, because I knew, you know, you just never know what day it is. I probably would have liked to have said, not goodbye, but at least talk to her the day before it happened. And that's the takeaway from it. But, you know, I'm grateful for everything she's done for me. You know, you brought your mom up earlier. Shout out to all moms out there, because moms, you know, God bless dad, but moms is like, that's the most unique parent that you can ever have, ever. And, you know, whether I go to hell or whatever happens to me in time, the one thing that I would like to happen is I'd like to, you know, get in touch with her once again, anywhere. I'll go to any realm. You could send me to fucking Asgard, and I'll run up in there and shit. You know, I don't give a damn. To me, it means a lot. And did you happen to be a comic book fan or a superhero fan of any kind? Marvel, DC?
Well, I don't have a specific denomination as far as Marvel or DC. I ended up getting into the comic book universe through the movie universe.
Okay.
First, I want to say superhero movie that I legitimately saw was the first X-Men movie.
Okay, 2000.
I ended up loving it.
Right.
Ended up loving it.
Yeah.
And then I saw the second one, X-Men United.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up falling deeper in love with the characters. Most notably Jean Grey.
Okay.
So I ended up doing a little bit of research and finding out that this was actually just a comic book that came out like decades before I was even thought about.
Right.
So I ended up going back through several series of X-Men, most notably the Phoenix Saga. Because I ended up loving Jean Grey more than the rest of them.
Right.
So I go through the Phoenix Saga, and I ended up becoming extremely enamored with it. So I keep reading through the Dark Phoenix Saga, and then I find out that it's not just the X-Men. It's actually Captain America. So I see Miss Marvel. More notably Batman. Just recently here I began looking into maybe starting the actual Avengers comic book series. So for me, it's more movie universe.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what I grew up with.
Yeah.
But the movie universe ended up getting me more interested in the comic book universe. In finding out a lot of differences because there are a whole lot of them.
Yeah, there are.
The differences between the movie universe and the comic book universe, the things that they left out.
Yeah.
The things that they got wrong.
Yep.
Things they got right.
Yep, you're right. That's the interesting thing about the comic book world, that the comic book world is the Bible to things. It's where you get your facts from, your background from, and the movies just kind of cover it in its own different way. It focuses on a portion of that truth, but it kind of creates its own, you know, aftermath of what happens instead of always following the comic book. I'm not a per se comic book guy myself. You know, I've had some comic books when I was a kid, but it was never really about reading them. It was more about the pictures. That's how I remember coming up. To me, it was more about, and it wasn't even about the movies like that neither. And I had movies when I was a kid coming up, but the thing about it is that for me, it was more like the Saturday morning cartoons. Like I'd watch Hulk and X-Men and stuff like that, and then, you know, on WB11, old school WB, Channel 11 back in the day. Yeah, I'd watch like, I'm gonna bring them back, Animaniacs, Batman, you know, I mean, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. My mic got cut out, I apologize. But yeah, I was saying Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon was the shit coming up. But those superhero shows for me back in the day, it was important. I think it was real important to my development as a kid, you know, along with the movies I mentioned earlier. Like, all this stuff was important to us. And if you're out there listening, you know, like, you need to know that that's important, man. That's important to our society, because superheroes and these badass action heroes and these wrestlers coming up, they had an influence on us. And I think it was a very strong and positive influence into society, when now, you know, society's full of so many pussies. Excuse my language, but we're live and uncensored, and like, that's how people are, bro. They're just so sensitive now. Everything is like, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. You know, well, the world doesn't revolve around you and what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn to just shut the fuck up. Learn to just live. Learn to mind your business. Do your own thing. Focus on your family and your shit. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. You know what I mean? So, I think all that is very, very interesting. I wanted to
Absolutely.
I wanted to cover. I guess I wanted to see. I don't expect a whole lot out of it, but you know, I guess we could maybe talk about Shay Lim a little bit, the character. Is there any hidden story or anything behind Shay Lim? Is she based off of somebody or anything like that? You know, because you rode into JTV with Shay Lim, and that's what it was all about. Russ Walker and Shay Lim. That's how it started out for you. So, what's the deal with Shay Lim?
So K-Lim is actually based off of one of my best friends in high school. Me and her actually shared a lot of common ground, especially when it came to wrestling. She actually wanted to wrestle. She never got around to it. She ended up going to school and getting into the doctorate business. But Kaylin's basis comes directly from her. She's straight up Korean like her.
So Shay Lim is real. Shay Lim is real. Confirm, folks. Confirm. She's real. Shay Lim walks the earth.
She's a real woman. She is taking steps on this planet. But do not slide in them DMs because she's not with that life. Kayla is not a puppet. She's a real woman.
Right.
That's basically where she came from.
Right.
And she's actually, for me, a legacy character because I've actually played nearly every WWE and WCW video game from No Mercy on the N64 up to K19. And K-Lim and another individual named Joshua Lee are legacy characters. They've been in every single one. So she's been in all of them. And is not aged today.
She's immortal, like the Highlander. So So
he
it
is completely immortal.
this is kind of interesting here. So you've been around in JTV for a couple of years. This has kind of been like a, a surprising thing. A surprising thing. You've had a little minor career CAW, a CAW career here in JTV. And, me personally, I honestly did not know what to expect out of you. Normally I expect people to quit or not to give a damn or be involved in the product, but you're heavily involved in the product as far as doing your part for it. But, stepping away from the work that you put into your body of work here in JTV and the legacy you're leaving behind, with your promos, with your antics and the things you do and say, Facebook included, you're very supportive. Because I know there's been times I've been on there and said, and started ranting out of my mind, and you'll come through and say a few words of encouragement. And I appreciate that. So shout out. But you've had a bit of a run here in JTV. From what you've seen thus far, in your mind, in your eyes, and your way of thinking, dissecting this JTV product and the stuff you've seen, the good stuff and the bad stuff, what is your opinion? What has caught your eye? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What do you think?
The biggest thing for me is the passion, the attention to detail, the attention that your talent puts in, the work you guys put in, like all the effort. That is really what keeps me interested in staying around and seeing where this goes. You guys are so dedicated to your passion for wrestling, not just WWE. A lot of people say, "Oh, I love wrestling," but they really just mean WWE. Oh, I love WWE.
Right.
It's, not just WWE for you guys. It's also the Indies. It's also WCW. It's also the wrestling industries that came before.
Right.
And the industries that came before what I grew up with, and to see that you guys cherish all of it as a whole, and put love into everything that you do. That really has me like, you guys are really in for this.
Right.
Because I've actually tried a few of these before, joining fan-made wrestling industries.
Really?
And one of them to note was extremely archaic. I forget the name of it. It was back in 2006 when the internet was all America Online. And just dial-up connection, forums and things like that.
Yeah.
But it was not good. It was shit to go uncensored. It was basically shady trash that's no better than the trash underneath my chops.
Right.
I would go about my way, say, hey, did you guys see Raw this night? Are you guys planning on seeing, you planning on going to WrestleMania? What are you planning on doing? Like, no replies. Or it was always just some drama. I'm like, you guys are really about this. So I just stepped away and just focused on the video games for a while. And then when you contacted me and said, is this your character? Like, I didn't know what to think. I'm like, yes. Can we use her? Like, yeah, sure. Take her.
Right.
Then they were like, so we need a manager for you guys. And I said, all right, I can do that.
Right.
And then you pitched manager position to me. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna give this a try. Give this a try right here. And then you guys, your passion, your love, your passion for what you're doing, and your fandom. Like it just made me want to stick around and see where you go.
Well, it's
And I have to
good.
say, I'm extremely pleased. And I'm grateful that you guys actually want me around still. So,
Well, it's good to hear.
thank you and keep it up. I'm proud to be a member. And I wish the best. Most definitely.
That is a hefty compliment right there. You know, that means a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for the clout, pimp. You know, good stuff.
No problem,
and and we're happy to have you. We're happy to have you here, and it's a lot of things about you that just seems right to me. You know, dissecting you. You know, like I said, you show interest. You're involved. You're very talented, in my opinion, on the mic with everything you do. I feel like you're an entrepreneur. With whatever you got going on, and I think that's all great. I think we could probably take some questions. I think. I want to drop some questions.
Let's go for it.
Drop some questions in there for Russ Walker. We're going to start with the one that I can see. Corey Flash wants to know, is Russ Walker going to manage more superstars? What do you think of that?
I have to check Russ's book. I think he's kind of full at the moment. Maybe you guys might have to show a little worthiness, or maybe show that you're actually worthy of being managed by such a legend.
Oh, he's in character now. Be careful. He's gonna hurt your feelings. He's in character now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's about to hit you with that. And be careful.
Women in all cages.
How long you be in JTV? How you got and how met? How long you be in JTV? Well, he's been around for a couple years. I think
since 2017.
Yes. And if you're asking how me and him met, pretty much he just explained it. I contacted him, and we went from there. Funk Man, EKG exclusive.
I basically created a character. I uploaded her in hopes of getting diamond status in 2K18 because of that whole achievement thing. And he ended up contacting me, asking me, is Kaylin your character, and use her? And I said, yeah, sure, absolutely. And then he pitched the idea of me creating a manager for her. And thus Russ Walker was born.
Were you always, did you always live in North Carolina?
I stayed in North Carolina for a collective 20 years of my life. Obviously, was born in Sweden. From Sweden, we moved here to the States, to Nebraska.
Okay.
From Nebraska, we moved to Kentucky. From Kentucky, we moved to Fort Huachuca, Arizona. From Fort Huachuca, we came here to North Carolina. For about a year and a half. Then we ended up moving to Alabama for another year and a half, and then right back here to North Carolina, where I currently stay.
So you've been around for a little bit, been moving around.
Yeah, that military life will have you some of which everywhere.
Should I bet? Did you enjoy the travel, or do you kind of feel like you just wanted to stay in one spot?
After a while, it kind of gets tiring.
Right.
Not being able to settle down because when you're in school, you're making friends, you're meeting people, and time to go.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll never see these people again.
That's tough.
Actually seeing new climates and new atmospheres, new settings. That part was fun, and I actually hope to do it again in the future. But
Right.
like I want to say an emotional standpoint, like a social standpoint, it takes a lot of strength to do. And come out and still be a functioning person without problems. Because you say certain places for a year and a half, you meet people, you make friends, and then all of a sudden you move away,
It's tough.
and you're the chance of never meeting them again or never seeing them again.
Right.
So it's tough to make connections when you're a military brat.
Right.
And there's no other life like it.
Corey Flash has the question of, so is Russ Walker going to step into the ring, or is he going to continue to be beat up by women's wrestlers? Yikes.
Well, I stand for the whole Me Too thing. So me being beat up by ladies is water under the bridge. I mean, if you guys would like me to step in the ring and take some of your belts and take some of that heat out of your egos, by all means, I will lace up my tailors, like you say, maybe. Man,
Don't
what you want me to overthrow the division, then by all means, I'm all for it.
Damn. To the Funk Man, I can answer your question for you. Toxic Diva, I was the one who had interest in putting Russ Walker with Toxic Diva. I thought it was a very good idea. Russ Walker has become sort of like our Paul Heyman, and he, it was my idea to have him work with Toxic Diva. I don't believe you and Toxic Diva have ever physically communicated, but I will say that she was very fond of your work. The girl who played this Toxic Diva character, she liked what you were doing and thought it would be good to have you guys kind of mashed together for a little while. So there is that right there.
Well, I do thank you. And I have to say, communication is the key to life. Communication is key to love. There are over 1,000 ways for us to communicate in this world, and yet not communicating once. Let us all come together and communicate, shall we? I feel like I know maybe bare minimum of you.
Yeah, I think.
Let's get communicating.
I think it's gone on for a while, and it's been one of those things where it's like, nobody's made the first move on it, but now that we've made contact here, we've landed on the moon with this Live and Uncensored here, so I think that this opens new doors for you to potentially feel comfortable to come in the party with us, because we do chat, we do hang out in the party. It was always a big crowd in that party chat. It's kind of like more condensed nowadays because, people got stuff going on. And we're working with the biggest JTV roster that we've ever worked with. So it's just a lot of people to keep up with. But, I think you can expect some party invites moving forward, whenever you're able to get in there and get to start knowing people. Because I think that's a good thing. I think before Russ Walker can decide who he may want to manage next, he needs to get to learn and know who's who, get to know all the talent. So, I definitely...
Absolutely. I completely agree. And I will tell you guys this. I am normally visibly offline, mainly because I forget to say I'm online. So it may look like I haven't been online for days, but I probably am. So if you feel the need, just shoot me a message, say, hey, are you on?
Right.
What are you doing? Like come on in this party chat. Like, come shoot the shit.
Yeah,
Like,
cause
come on, get this ass whooping. Or come here, I need my ass whooped.
Come get this ass whooping. What the fuck? What the fuck? Heard this shit. Oh, he's doing the laugh. Oh man, you killing me here. Yeah, I'm over here doing a live broadcast with you right now, and I'm not even logged in myself. I forgot to sign in. I don't think I'm logged in. I think I'm offline. I'm pretty sure, but I guess some people forget, the whole thing, signing in or whatnot. But I like what you said. Communication is key, and in JTV, folks, communication is the most important thing you can do in your career, and that's how you get by. That's how you get on. That's how you get through. Communication. If you're not in communication, if you're not reaching out to me or reaching out to any of us when we got stuff to do, we can't play the guess game. Russ just confirmed right there that normally he's on, but that button is normally off. So you never know. So that's great.
With me, I just forget to say, oh, you're online. That's my whole issue. I just forget. Like every now and then I remember, oh shit, I'm playing. Let me let people know I'm playing.
Right. Yeah.
Usually I just hop on, I play, then I'm done, I'm off.
Right. I feel you, And for me and you, I think it's changed. It's like we tend to just keep it more simplistic. At least I know I do. With the age getting up there, I just don't get down as heavy as I used to when I was a teen or whatnot. And to come up, it just seemed like we had more time to play video games and stuff of that nature. And it's like life isn't like that anymore. It's changed. It's so much task to focus on, so much stuff to get done or do, or you can't.
Absolutely. Case in point. As of right now, I legitimately have three jobs. I am actually in college right now.
That's a career.
And I do a lot of I guess you can say practice public speaking. I go around and speak at recreation centers. Basically trying to motivate the children to get outside. Because in this electrical age, everybody has a face and a phone or in a tablet, whatever. And I grew up that way. I know the importance of actually going outside. And it's just I guess practice public speaking. Everybody know, hey, get your ass outside a little bit. Even if it's just like an hour. I know it sucks. Get out there and do it.
Right.
You get out there, you end up enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. You never know what you can run into. You just walking through the local neighborhood, something can pop up. I've had instances where I just walk into the neighborhood, just looking at my shoes, just walking down the sidewalk. A job popped up. Somebody, hey, can you help? What's wrong? Are you all right? Yeah, I just need to bring my TV up. I'll pay you. Oh, shit, you got it. How big is the TV? You know what I mean? So,
do I need a back brace or what is this?
Right.
Huge TV, curve, do I need both hands?
Right.
Is this a box? What's going on? What is this?
God bless the folks that came up with the almighty flat screen. Because damn, them old the big TVs, man, yikes.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I about pulled 8 million muscles trying to move our floor model out of the house after it broke down. And I'm like, how the fuck did y'all get this thing in here?
Right.
First off, it was big and bulky.
Yeah.
Not only that, it was that huge floor model that had the TV on the side and all these buttons right here on the other side. Then the cabinet had like a clock built into it, so it was extra heavy and extra awkward. And mind you, parents had this big floor model TV since we were kids. So I'm just thinking, how the fuck did y'all get this thing in the house? Because it's in the back of the house, it was in my parents' bedroom, and we had to move it out of the house, out of the hall, turn these corners, basically work a maze trying to get this TV out of here. How the fuck did y'all get these TVs wherever y'all have them back in the day? Like even movers, I feel like would be like, man, fuck this. I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah, those big TVs.
Flat screens ain't no different. They're just flat. They're still awkward.
Those big TVs can be scary, man. I got a memory of my parents one time. I don't remember what they gave me, but I was supposed to take something and put it like on the shelf where the TV was at. I don't remember what the fuck it was. I was watching a movie. I didn't want to do it. And we're all in the same room, by the way. We're all in the same room. It's my parents, me, and my little sister. And for me not to do it, I went and told my little sister to do it. I gave it to her. And once she started climbing, she kind of looked like King Kong in Manhattan. So she's climbing the shit, and then all of a sudden the fucking TV tilts and falls on her, man, and she's little. And I was fucking scared out of my life. I thought it killed her. We all had a big scare, because you typically, in my family coming up, they scare you with the TV exploding thing. When a TV explodes, it's not as crazy as you think of, a TV exploding. It's not like a fucking grenade. It can be dangerous. Right. It can be dangerous, but it doesn't explode like a fucking grenade. It just, it has a very impactful explosion, especially being close to it. But it's not like, like even if it explodes, it's usually just a screen cracking and stuff of that nature. So, when it fell on her, it was like, I got scared as a little kid. I thought of grenades. She's dead. Because it fell on her, but she was fine. It didn't even hurt, but it was a scary experience for me. And then there was another one where it took like maybe 5 or 6 of us. It was like my mom, my brother, 2 of my friends, and I think my sister or somebody. And we were all carrying like this flat screen, but the flat screen was big as fuck. And it was just so dangerous to lift that thing. And man, like it was heavy, and I was worried. I was scared. This was back when I was a teen. We was picking the shit up, living in the projects in the hood, in New York. And it's like, fuck, man, like this is dangerous. This is scary. I don't want it to drop on anybody. So. Shit, man. Big ass TVs. We're here talking. Russ Walker and Kevin Impact talking about big ass TVs. Shout out to Care Bear. Goddamn.
Big ass TVs. Hashtag Care Bear love.
Right. Damn. This is insane. Shit. What else is going on? What's in the comments? When is the JTV Live and Uncensored podcast? Well, this. Right here.
We do podcasts now? Is that what we're doing?
This is kind of it. This is kind of it right here, Funk Man. This is kind of it. You got Russ Walker here live. Y'all gotta ask some questions instead of playing around them damn comments. You guys have Russ Walker here. You can ask him anything you want. I'm over here asking him anything I want. We talked about so much stuff already. From martial arts to mommy military service and all this other stuff that went on. Did you have obviously Ashley Massaro had an influence on you. Did you have like any specific favorite?
It really depends on the time.
Oh, so it varies.
When I first, yeah, it varies. Like I have a handful that I pay attention to.
Right.
Now, a handful that I paid attention to a few years ago, and it just waterfalls.
Right.
I guess so. For me, there is no direct favorite. It usually depends on the depth of the character for me. Because I am theater oriented, and what really gets my interest is the character work. How much dedication they put into the character, even when they're trash scripts and trash storylines. As far as genuine wrestling ability, Right now, I have to say Cesaro is one of my favorites.
He's a good worker.
As of right now, genuine wrestling ability and overall quality of work, Cesaro is he's up there for me.
So you're into the technical stuff. It's not just character and all that. You like the dynamics of what goes on in the ring. Essentially, the technicality.
Absolutely. Because I honestly feel that there are two different types of wrestling universes. Like there are two different types of comic book universes. The comic book universe and you have the movie universe. You have what goes on behind the scenes, and you have what people are showing on the screen. Like I full-heartedly believe that wrestling is an art. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You have communication cues that you have to know. You have to be able to mesh with your opponent's style in their movement and what it is that they're familiar with. You have to familiarize yourself with it. You have to train. You have to know how to bump. You have to know cues. You have to be able to listen to the referee. You have to be able to listen to your partners. There's a lot of things that goes into it. And on top of that, you have to be able to plan out whatever the crowd is handing to you. But then at the drop of a dime, you have to feed into it. So there's a lot that goes into it that I feel like a lot of cookie cutter fans don't pay attention to. They just see what's on TV and be like, oh, I hate this wrestling so fake. Or the ones that are on the outside looking in.
Right.
Like, oh my god, this shit is so fake. It's so scripted. Have you tried bumping for a moonsault? Have you tried bumping for a moonsault, sir? Have you had someone 250 pounds fall on top of you from about 10 feet? Like, if not, I'm gonna need you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't even require trust falls of any kind or turnbuckle splashes, elbow drops, none of that. Just by you doing typical rolls and flips, just work out regular training regimens, even getting in the ring is a task. It's tough.
Absolutely, because you look at it from the screen and it doesn't look like it's a task. It doesn't look like it's 15 feet tall.
Right.
But you think about wrestlers who are on average 6'2", and the ring is towering over them. Like you don't realize that you have to be able to not only climb on top of that thing, you have to be able to get through those ropes. Sometimes get over them. And that takes a lot of energy. And you mentioned bumping. The ring isn't this pillowy mattress thingy. It's wood. Like that is while it is spring underneath it. The top of it is wood. You're still going to have to land on wood.
Right.
So it's still gonna hurt.
Yep.
So these athletes are risking their lives every time they get into the ring. So for me, I've not actually getting into the ring gives me a respect for it because I know what goes into it. But for people to say, oh my god, that shit is so fake, it's so scripted. Like I come back and say, have you ever fallen before? Like, have you ever fallen before? Shit hurts. Like falling on accident hurts. Falling on purpose hurts both your mind and your body. Because when you're falling on purpose, you have to think about how to fall. So you're racking your brain thinking about how to fall.
Yep.
Then you're actually falling. And you're hurting your back, or you're hurting your side, you're hurting your chest. And it's like, it's scripted, but it's not fake.
And if you...
The things you see going on in the ring, that's real.
And if you don't believe us, go ahead and give it a try. Find a local training wrestling camp of some sort. Make a little payment. If you ain't got nothing else to do, get in there and see for yourself. Find out for yourself. I'm looking at some of these other questions in here. Some of them are pretty funny.
Lord,
like
we'll expect a funny answer.
TKO, the Almighty. Russ, be my black Paul Heyman. I'll be your black Brock Lesnar. What do you think of that?
If we have a black Seth Rollins, I'm in trouble. That's what I think that one. Because it means Seth Rollins going to basically destroy my job when he destroys you, Brock Lesnar. When he kicks you in the balls and destroys your WrestleMania moment, it's going to destroy me by proxy. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Are you a wrestler in JTV or only a manager? What would you consider yourself in JTV, Russ? Would you consider yourself a manager?
I would consider myself a superstar. Meaning I can do whatever I need to do to get the job done. If I need to slash holes in you on the microphone, I will do so. If I need to slash holes in you in that ring, I will do so. If I need to slash holes in your pocket, I will do so. I am multifaceted, a man of many vices.
They go those big words. They go them big ass words I be talking about right there. You got
big words, big fists.
Corey Flash says his mic skills come from theater background. Did Russ do musical theater type of stuff?
Actually, I did. I am a trained singer. I was trained in opera and Broadway singing for about 5 years. In my middle school experience for 3 years, and in high school for 2. So I do have a bit of musical background, yes.
Did you say opera?
Yes. I am trained in opera.
The Phantom of the Opera. Love. Bam, 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 bam. I gotta give me some tickets to go see that motherfucker.
It's a good show. I mean, a lot of people sleep on Broadway. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, no, Broadway's a fucking shit. I don't know. If you sleep on it, don't go. You know, but those shows are good. I've been to different performances. Well, let me see. I think I got into them when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I had this really pretty teacher named Miss Friedman, and she used to take us on trips from time to time, and we'd go to these theaters. We went to one called Emergency. There was a lot of improv stuff going on, a lot of DJing, dancing stuff, and I love the spectacle of it. I love the lights, you know, the on and off, the acting. I think they did a Spanish Harlem skit in there somewhere, and it was very interesting to me. Obviously, being a Spanish man, and you know, that following, that background, stuff like that, I like to see, man. You know, Broadway performances to me, I don't get bored watching them. You know, they get me excited. I got the opportunity to meet Chaz Palminteri, who was in A Bronx Tale with Robert De Niro. He came out live on stage.
Nice.
Yeah, he meant a lot to me. You know, I got his picture on my Facebook. He means a great deal, because a lot of those guys, the Al Pacinos and the Robert De Niros, like, I love those guys to death. The Joe Pescis, you know, they mean a lot. So to see him, you know, he was basically in his own way doing a promo in his own way. You know, he was playing a part of the Bronx Tale movie, and you know, he was acting out a scene in the movie, and it was pretty dope. You know, it's pretty dope to see that. So you have that. So it's been a while since I've been to any Broadway theater, but You know, once I get some stuff out of the way, I'm looking to go check out that Phantom of the Opera. We got the Phantom of the Opera on JTV. Well, our own Phantom, you know. The Phantom. We don't want to say Phantom of the Opera. We don't want to get sued for copyright and all that other bullshit. You know? So we got we got the Phantom of JTV. So
Well, you know, you can definitely reword it and say the ghost of the musical.
You see,
Basically, same thing, different words.
you see, folks. This is why Russ Walker is a major deal in JTV right here. This is why. This is why. What else we got? How about Russ Walker be my manager? Funk man, Funky Carter. That's Funky Carter who's saying that. You know, Funky Carter. He's the current JTV Extreme Champion. So that's our hardcore champion right there. The Funk man, Funky Carter.
Well, tidbit of advice from champ to champ. Title rings end. One of these days you're gonna get knocked off of your high horse, and you're gonna have your ivory tower shattered. And you're gonna need someone to pick you up. Do you think that I'll be able to carry your weight? If you can answer that for me, and I like the answer, I will consider it.
What do you think, Funk man?
You're not gonna be a champ forever.
Do you think Russ Walker can do for you what he did for K-Lim and for Toxic Diva? What's next?
There's no question about that. I mean, everything that my tongue touches is gold. The question is, are you worthy to be turned into gold?
Oh,
Will
damn.
it just be gold-plated?
He rephrased it. Oh, he said yes. He answered yes.
Yeah, I need receipts. I can't base my work off of a promise.
Well, we got Shendon here, TLK Shendon, who's also talking to you, asking some questions. And he actually is our current JTV C Division champion, rarity in its form. And he's actually undefeated. 13-0 streak currently since he's joined JTV. No one's beaten him. He asked the question, what's next for Russ in JTV as wrestler, or what's your plan or main goal?
So my main goal is to make sure you guys are successful. Whatever that entails. Whatever I need to do to make sure you are the best you can be. So let me flip that around on you. What do you need me to do for you? Like, what is your main goal for me? Would you like me to use my words, my gift of gab, my word jumble to maybe support you? i.e. carry you through the division? Or would you like me to put on a 5-star match with you and maybe potentially, I don't know, take the title and put it on your ass? Maybe. Whichever one you want. I mean, I'm game for whichever. I have no qualms. Just let me know what I can do for you.
You got him laughing. That's what you can do for him. He's dying.
And that's what I do. I slay.
To answer your question, Funk Man, I can take that one. Me and Russ, me and the big man right here talking. You know, we was able to put it together. We was able to put the Russ Walker name together, and we felt that it was fitting to the character. You know, we didn't know what to expect. I don't think you knew what to expect. I certainly just thought I'd give you. You know, I thought the same thing you thought. Let me try this out and let me see what he can do. You know, and you hit the nail. You know, you hit the ball right out of the park, in my opinion. So, yeah, there's your question, Funk Man. You got some more people laughing. Let's see here.
What could I say? I'm a funny bitch.
A funny bitch?
I raise my hand.
So yeah. I think I also wanted to say that my goal for you and everyone else here in JTV is the same. Success. For all of us to succeed and to expand this place, to see where we can go with this thing. You know, I don't know exactly what to expect, but I have noticed that this place is getting pretty wide. It's getting big, more talent, more focus, more views, more subscribers and stuff like that. So you never know where we're gonna go if we keep pushing forward and keep doing our thing. And it takes from you, the fans, and it takes from you, the talent, to put your part in there to share all this content that we're putting out, to subscribe and tell your friends and share the gospel, because that's how we get out there, by, you know, us self-promoting. You know, we're never going to move up if we all don't collectively make the effort. You know, sorry for spoilers, but I mean it's already well over expiration date when it came to spoilers. But Captain America couldn't beat Thanos by himself. You know, he would need the help of everyone that he can. He can't beat him by himself. Neither could Thor. And I can't do this without you guys. All of us collectively. Think about, if you want JTV to be an even bigger platform, think about what we can do together if we promote the fuck out of this place. You know, how are we not going to get noticed? We're going to get noticed. It's going to get out there if we're all individually doing our part in trying to spread the gospel or share the gospel, so to speak. So that's my encouragement to you guys, and that's my that's my assurance to you guys, that I will work hard to make you the best stars that I can, to get everybody over, to do, you know, everything in my power to make things happen in JTV and give you an exciting, exhilarating, wonderful platform that you can enjoy. I really feel like you know, we got a good thing going here, and we need to keep focused and keep going up and up, and we're going to be just fine, and everything will work out for the better, so long as we stay focused and keep bumping this thing up. So I'm always very, very proud of all of the talent here and everyone that we get the opportunity to create art with, because that's how I look at it. And you know, even those individuals who, you know, despite whatever outcome or fallout we might have had, you know, anyone who I've ever hated or had a problem with ever in JTV, I'm always appreciative of the body of work that everybody leaves behind and helping build this place. You know, and that's got cut out. That's on the limb right there. You know, me going out on the limb, just showing some clout to everyone in the history of JTV. I might not like everybody in the history of JTV, but I certainly appreciate and love the history and legacy that we've built. You know what I'm saying? So thank you to you, Russ Walker, and thank you to all you guys of talent. Russ Walker's a busy man, so we're getting ready to wrap up here momentarily. So we will take some more questions, and we're getting ready to close out. Russ Walker got stuff to do. I think you can take.
Got things to say.
He's got.
Entertain you guys for another 5 minutes. Throw me some questions here.
Russ Walker got a little bit of time before he's got to go out and meet the paparazzi. He's got a million interviews he's got to do. He's got film appearances he has to make. He's got a limousine waiting for him. So what y'all guys got to say? Russ, I think you can take Shen's title. I need to look at this over here so I can see it clearly. Okay, so somebody thinks you can end Shen's streak, I believe. Russ, I think you can take.
Well, please, put your money on me, bruh. I'll get you paid.
Shandon. The undefeated. Oh, we got an appearance from my cat. My cat is making a special. Oh, is my cat happen to be your limousine driver by any chance? Cat's
Your
like,
cat
hurry
might
up.
be the driver. He's like, listen, I've been outside waiting for about 2 hours. I'm going to need you to come on outside. Meow, 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 outside, meow.
You going to hell, cat. You going to hell. Funk said it's impossible to be Shendon. Russ won't beat him is what he meant. Oh.
You poor deluded soul. You must have never had a dream before. I think we all dream about the impossible, don't we?
What kind of name is Corey Flash?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Russ versus Shendon.
Many words, and I can't even figure that one out.
I don't mind. I'm always ready for a fight, pal. Okay.
Good.
Well,
you should be.
Well, this has been fantastic. Russ is giving you guys an extra 40 minutes of content. So, Russ, this has been great. We got to do it again sometime. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Pleasure being here.
Absolutely. This has been good. Like I said, I want to thank you for your time here, and thank you for being a guest on tonight's episode number 5 of Live and Uncensored. Good luck to you in your career and everything.
5.
Good luck to you.
Shining so you guys can be on number 6. Huh?
Good luck to you and everything you got going on in your career in real life and in your career here and with life. Hopefully everything works out for you. Props. Thank you once again for being on. And for our next episode 6, well, I'm going to get to that right now, Shendon. For our next episode 6, we're going to have, I think, a very, very special guest who I'm intending to go into a lot of detail with, but that one is going to be a secret until further notice, to be revealed sometime. Yep. Couple of weeks. Next weekend we should be able to get next episode of Next Gen, episode 29, followed by a week after that, June 1st, we'll get Mega Rush 114, and then maybe the weekend after that is when we will get our special guests. But you'll have to stay tuned for that one. No spoilers. We want to thank you for listening in to Russ Walker. And, yeah, thanks once again, Russ. We're going to sign out. Any last words?
Thank you guys for attending. Thank you guys for actually shining this time. And what other shit I got to say to you? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you guys are worth any more words. Thank you so much, and good night.
Well, that's it. Russ Walker's out of here. That was good. We're signing out. Thank you, folks. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.